Hey guys, Tech Timmy here. So in this video, we're going to be unboxing, setting up, and also taking a first look at the Govee RGBICWW cylinder floor lamp. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I will explain what that long acronym means. But first, let's get this out of the box. Let's go.
Oh boy, it's Tech Timmy time.
Alright guys, so here we are over at my unboxing station. The box itself is very well done, so Govee does a fantastic job with marketing and so forth. But right out the bat, I'll just say, so this works with both Google Home and my girl, Alexa. I fully intend on controlling this with Alexa. If you stick around to the end, I will do a little Alexa demo, and I'll also explain what this crazy RGBICWW acronym means, and maybe we'll get to that soon, actually. All right, so side of the box, double layer lampshade, very cool. This is a beautiful looking smart light. Govee has a lineup of these. I think they might have 5 or 6 with different looks at different price points. I believe this is the middle of the road one, but I like this because I feel like it's absolutely beautiful. And the few reviews that I've seen on this, it looks super solid. In fact, my friend Brian over at Automate Your Life, he did a fantastic review of this. I am gonna do less on the review side. I'll do a little demo at the end, but I'm gonna do less on the review side and more on the setup part of it. I don't think anybody's really covered the setup super in depth. I'm gonna actually take my time and go through step by step in terms of what it takes to set this up. And the last thing it says on the bottom here is the solid lamp base. This thing's super heavy, but so that's what it looks like out in the wild, which I think is very cool. All right, so just a few specs on the back of the box that might make sense to cover. So you have voltage at 24 V VDC. It's a 1A current. It's 24 watts of power. And so the temperature range is 2200 Kelvin by 6500 Kelvin, which is a pretty wide range. And I don't know what this thing on the bottom means, but 1500 LM, 360 degrees. If you guys know what that means, drop a comment down below and let me know. So a box also talks about what's inside the box, which we're going to get into in a second. For this video, I have my Viking unboxing knife here, and we're going to get this right out of the box right now. Oh, interesting. So it looks like we have a couple of pull tabs, so open it says. So we're going to pull the tabs here, one, and we're going to pull the tab here as well. We have a little doorway, opens up on the other side here, and your journey begins now. So documentation, so let's connect, need help. I love it when companies put their support information right on the top of the box, very cool. Document, I've actually seen this in some videos, looks really good. So we have at a glance, we have full schematic diagram. That all looks very straightforward. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull the pieces out of the box, but I'm going to do that on fast forward so we don't waste time getting the plastic off these things and so forth, and then I'll lay them all out on the table. So I'm going to do that right now on fast forward. So I set the bulb and the part for the cylinder piece for the top aside for now, pretty much so they don't fall off the table while I'm doing this, but also we can focus on what we need to do initially here, which is we're going to take our lovely white nunchucks here, that's what I'm going to call them, white nunchucks, and we need to assemble those. It's exactly how you would think. So you basically just thread the threads into the hole, and so I'm going to do that quickly here. I'm going to fast forward through any parts that actually go long or slow. It can be a little tricky getting it to thread in there, but you want to definitely make sure it's on exactly how it's supposed to go, and then that's going to be nice and tight. And I was actually afraid that some lines might show, but it looks super seamless. So the main thing is that when you're done, you want to have the wire protruding from the bottom so that we can thread it through the base. So I'm going to do that next here. You might want to do this last step onto the floor, but this looks like it's going to work just fine for purposes of the assembly here. So good. And the other thing I was afraid of, and I'll just show you real quick with this, my biggest concern about this light and seeing some of the other videos was that this on the bottom would make the base topsy-turvy a little bit, but if you thread it through there, so if you use the opening around the side of the feet and you place the cord there, this is going to stand nice and stable. I don't mind my chandelier that I'm hitting up the top there. but that will stay nice and stable and steady on the floor. So it's not going to be wobbly or topsy-turvy or any of that. And then the last step here, as you might expect, is you just basically take this and plug it into there, and then you're all set up and ready to go for power. So the next part of this, we just want to get the cylinder and the bulb installed on the top, and for that I'm going to move her onto the floor to show you how to do that. All right, so I put the lamp base on the floor over here to just do a proper demo for you guys, and then I realized that it looks like they want us to connect, I believe this is called the control box, to the actual lamp itself. And then to do that, this guy just comes out here, and then I think this thing pops off, and it does. It pops off nice and easily. So they're like, and then what we want to do is we want to connect this guy into here. So you're gonna have to line up the connectors just so, but we want to get this in there. And I would say, don't pull too much on that wire as you're doing this, because we don't want to break it, right? But as you can see, there's a little lip on the bottom here that goes on that guy right there. So that's your best bet. You want to line up the little lip here with the bottom of the thing. And when I say I understand if you need to get your readers, so it's a little bit tricky, but once you line up that lip, it should go in no problem whatsoever. And then this just screws on here, just like the poles, nice and tight. And that's all you need to do with that. And then the last step is, of course, we just want to take this guy and put it into our stand base, I should say, right? And then definitely want to be careful with this one, because we want to make sure it's all the way threaded in before we let it go, so it doesn't come crashing down. And then, hey, look at that. What a sweet looking cylinder lamp that is, guys. All right, so next we're going to fire this up and we're going to do a little demo. All right, guys, so setup using the app should be fairly straightforward. There's a few things that you're going to want to pay attention to, and that's that, first of all, there's a QR code in the document that you can scan that will bring you to the App Store, where you can automatically download the Govee Home app is the one that you want. That's what I have up here right now. And then when you get to the Govee Home screen here, it's going to say, welcome to Govee Home. Going to click on the plus sign. It's going to show you all of their different devices. The one that we want for this lamp is H6078. We don't want the other ones. So there it is right there, and I found it because I have it plugged in. When you plug it in, it lights up this cool little candy cane type color. The second you plug it in, mine's already plugged in. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. And then so it says Bluetooth device nearby. We want to pick on that, and it says connecting. Let's see if it connects. Device is pairing. Please short press the on-off button. So I'm going to go over to the lamp and short press the on-off button. So after doing that, it finds it immediately, which is great. I'm going to say done. And now it's asking me to enter my password for my 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. So that's important. So you want to make sure that you're on your 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi network, not your 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi network. I'm going to also select save password and then say done. Connecting to Wi-Fi. This looks encouraging. Wi-Fi connection successful. Awesome. So now, save the password. I am going to do that. I'm going to save my password. Welcome to the device control interface. Let me give you a quick tour. Okay, let's walk through that real quick. Use a slider to control your light's brightness. Okay. Tap more to find additional functions, blah, blah, blah. Okay, done. All right, so there we go. So now we are up and running in the app. We have our little picture of our lamp over there. How cute is that with the red couch? I love it. All right, so now I'm going to switch over to show you what the lamp looks like, and we'll cycle through we'll do a few quick demos of some of the scenes in here. So controlling the lamp is basically as easy as selecting different scenes inside of the app. So this one right here is called Enthusiastic. There's also a warm, so if we change that, it responds immediately and changes it to a warm color. This actually looks orange in my room here, but let's just try here. Okay, relax, we can try different gradients. So that one is a little bit more of a green tinge to it. We'll try this one. Blue and purple, ooh, that's nice. I think that's my favorite so far, I love that. And so I have my green screen set up as a background here, but it's not going to work with different green screen effects and so forth, but you can get the general idea of what the light's gonna look like. Let's go back to Enthusiastic. I like that one, I think, a lot as well. So that is a really funky design right there. So very cool on that. So this will sync to your music as well. I'm not going to do that in this video again. A lot of other creators have already done this, but different designs and so forth. Like look at that one, very, very cool right there. And then also we have ecological. We'll try that one next. Okay, so it's again a little bit more of a green color. Healing. Ooh, I feel like I'm being healed already there. Yeah, so you can basically play around with all of these different options. Inside of the app, you select your device basically, and then you're presented with a ton of different ways to change the color and so forth. And I think one of the important ones is this one here at the top. So this will actually let you control the brightness, I believe. So it just dims significantly there, as you can tell. Let me drop that down even more. And it dims it a little bit further, so very cool on that. There's DIY capabilities, you have illumination, there's all kinds of different features in this app here. But again, other creators have done a very thorough job with this. I would say play around with it to your heart's content until you get the exact setting that suits your mood. But very cool so far, super encouraged by this. I love the way it looks. The fact that the base is super stable on the bottom, even with the wire pulled through down the bottom, this light is not gonna fall over. And that was one of my big concerns. So anyhow, I hope this video helped you guys. If it did, if you want to give me a thumbs up, helps out the channel a lot. And hope to see you in the next video. I do all sorts of videos about tech. Please subscribe and hope to see you in the next one. Cheers.